Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's EBC. We're in downtown Lakeville this evening at a place that's a puzzle room here on Main Street. We're here to think about John 20 verses 19 through 23. It's Pentecost this Sunday, and the verses from John 20 are about the Holy Spirit being brought to the disciples when Jesus first meets them on Easter Sunday evening. And we have another story, of course, about Pentecost that we're all very familiar with, when Peter and the disciples are all given the Holy Spirit in Acts 2. And in Acts 2, then they start talking in different languages and everyone can understand them. And those are the two things that we're thinking about here for Pentecost. Now, why are we in front of a puzzle room today? It's partly because of something really simple. I was thinking about that locked room that the disciples were in on that first Easter Sunday evening, and I started thinking about a puzzle room. And there's some similarities here. Now, of course, both rooms are locked. That's the first similarity. But one is locked from the inside and one is locked from the outside. So you're trying to get out of the locked puzzle room, whereas the disciples were very afraid and they were trying to make sure they were safe from the people who might try to come after them on that first Easter Sunday evening. So now, just because it's locked, that's one similarity, but that fearfulness is another issue here, right? Sometimes when people do these puzzle rooms, there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of concern about whether you're going to get out of there or not. And so we're reminded that God is always with us and helping us in that fear. And then Jesus does appear to the disciples, of course, as well. There's another thing that happens in these puzzle rooms, and now I've never been in this particular puzzle room, so I'm not giving away any secrets here, by the way. But one of the things that happens in puzzle rooms that I happen to know about is that when you're doing the puzzle, you have to work together. In fact, sometimes in a puzzle room, it's impossible to do the puzzle unless you're working with other people. And that reminds us of that Holy Spirit that comes to us because of the Pentecost story, because of Jesus breathing the Holy Spirit onto his disciples. The idea being that we cannot come to faith all by ourselves. We need the Holy Spirit and we need that extra help. And then besides, it's better with friends, right? And the disciples are all there together, and then when they go out into the world and they're preaching the good news, they can do that as friends as well. So that's really important as well. Then the last thing about a puzzle room I want to think about for just a moment is the idea of just, you're getting out. You're trying to get out. That's the whole point of a puzzle room. And that's the whole point of the Holy Spirit in the Pentecost story. When Jesus breathes the Holy Spirit onto the disciples, when Peter and the disciples are given the Holy Spirit and are speaking in other tongues, it's not just about their own faith. It's about describing that faith to others. Jesus gives them the command to forgive other sins, and those whose sins are retained will be retained. Those whose sins are forgiven by the disciples will be forgiven. It's about that relationship with other people. It's about getting out and then being confident and being able to share the good news in that way. So as we're thinking about what Pentecost means to us, we know that we're protected from the need to be fearful. We're protected as we're trying to get out of whatever it is that's enclosing us and trying to get out there and spread Jesus' good word. So have a great week, everybody, and go on and get out of that safe room into something fun and spreading the good word.